to show you what bait we're using. We're using Vortex, right? And all you do is straight from the freezer. As you pour some in your bucket, get some krill or some sticky baits, throw it onto it. Give it a good stir. It's quite smelly, and you can see you get this sticky, gooey, disgusting smell. And then you do the same thing with the bloodworm, exact same thing. Bloodworm boilies. Get your same thing, cloudy bloodworm, some sticky bits again, pour it into it, give it a good wrap about, and that's 2 baits. Now so far we have, I think Damien has, between the 2 lads over, have about 12 fish over 30 pounds. So I'm 1 over 40. So on the same rate, I have about 11 fish, but no 30s as yet. So hopefully now, next thing now is, if we get a fish, we'll show you what traces we're getting them on. So I'll talk to you there in a minute. Here we are on day 3. Just explaining, got up early this morning, put up my 3 rods. I'll explain how I did that in one go. All I did was reel my rods in, put them to one side, got my mat, put my mat over my alarms and over the swingers, put it back about 6 inches roughly back where the reels are going to be, got my rods, rebaited them, put them all on the mat. So when you put them on the mat, your line is sitting on the mat. All you have to do then after that is get your boat out in front of you, take your 3 rods, get your leads. As you're rowing them out, the line will run free along the mat. Should be no problems. Always make sure you check that the mat is clear of debris. There's no leaves, no nothing to catch up with anything, so you get no tangles, no pulls. You have to come back in. It's a disaster. So the best thing you could do is try 1 rod at a time, see how you get on. When you're confident with that, you can work 2 to 3 rods. Now that's only if you're going roughly to the same area. Now if you're going to, like, say 40 yards that way to the centre or another 40 yards, you have to take them out 1 at a time. Otherwise you have line all over the place. So it works, as I said, just be careful, try 1 at a time, make sure your mat is fairly flat, your line can run cleanly over it, get caught in nothing, you should be fairly safe. So maybe if you have a lake that you can put a boat on, try it this way. Normally people will be fishing on their own. If you have someone with you, so be it, they can hold the rod. If you haven't, try this, it works. I just put 3 rods out, it works for me, so hopefully it will work for you. Right, now, after saying all that now, your next step then is just put your rods to one side like that. Lift up the 3rd one. Get your mat. Put your mat out of the way. Reel up very slowly, very slow. Take your time. 1 at a time. Now, the best thing to do as well is that when you're doing this, alright, is turn off your alarms. I'm just leaving my alarms on at the moment, but you should just turn off your alarms to make everything grand and quiet so people around you won't go mad. As you can see now, I have the 3 rods locked in, set up, clip on my swingers, and there you have it, ready to go. 3 baits dropped out, bait put around it, everything's confident, all the baits are perfect, rods have been put down perfect. All you need now is the fish to feed, and we should be in for a good day. So hopefully that will happen, and I'll talk to you then. Before I get a take. Oh wait, what's this? Oh, we're going to drop back, let's go. Oh yeah, we're in.
beauty. I've never seen one quite that bad before. Let's get out that water. They're nearing it so far. This time lately in that net. You beauty. What a lovely fish. Fantastic. Etang De Brigeuil does it again. Lovely position, little mark on her. Bye bye, sweetie.
Right, here I'm back, you know, after landing that fish. As I go through the traces as I have my rods in. Now, first thing I normally go through would be is your safety leader. Now, if you're fishing open water, which I got that fish in, alright, I'd use the safety leader where you don't have to lose the lead all the time. It's just put on the rubber a bit tighter around it. The safety leader now is the one that has the free running swivel. So all you do is pull into it, not too tight, just firm enough. So when you get a run off a fish, he'll hit it hard enough, the line will run through, it'll get caught up in the top. So when you're fighting the fish is here in this hand and the lead is up here swinging around, so when it's shaking its head you won't lose it. So that's the first one. Now if I was fishing near weed, I'd use the safety leader which has the fixed system on it that can't pull free. So all you do is the same thing, get your lead, put it on, get your rubber, just enough that hopefully you can cast it. Sometimes you can put a bit of PVA around this, it stops it from flying off. When you're casting, if you're bait boating it out or using a boat, you're grand, just work away, drop it down, it's okay. Now normally how it happens is when the fish runs, as it runs through the weed, the lead will hit the weed, gone. The fish can run through the weed as you're striking, it's just you to the fish, and hopefully when the fish moves it'll come right through and it'll get back. You lose your lead 9 times out of 10 you get the fish. So that's well worth looking at, fishing tight to weed. The other system, open water, you can use this in open water too, but the other one is better. Now I might just show you the traces that we're using. The lads on the far side, we're kind of gone to the same thing, roughly the same length of trace. All we do is you strip back any material that you're used to. We're using the Suffix stuff at the moment, the camo Suffix. It's quite good, quite easy to work with. And we're using the new corda hooks, which are quite sharp and they're kind of camouflaged to what you want to use it for. They're coated, it looks good. Now all we do is same thing again, knotless knot. Work out roughly what length of boilie you're going to be putting on. I normally stick to about 1.25 inches. You have the extender stops if you want bigger baits, depends. I normally use a boilie and a half, maybe a boilie tipped with a rubber sweet corn. So all I do now is you'll do the knotless knot, wrap around. I kind of go back to the point of the hook, come back twice over the top, run it down through the top eye, and that's what you have. Now you can use it like this, tied off to a swivel, but what I normally do, and it seems to work okay for me, is I get shrink tube 1.6mm, run it through it, slide it over the top of the eye. This would be about 3/4 of an inch thereabouts. Push it over the top. Keep going now until it works all the way back over your knotless knot loop. So you go back slow over it. 1.6 is quite 1.6 tubing is quite good to go over these size 4 hooks. Once it goes back 3/4 of the full way, all you do then is what I do is get my bait needle, make a hole roughly 2mm back, puncture it into it, so you have a hole through your shrink tube. Then get the tip of your line, push it through the hole. Sometimes it's not as easy as it looks, but it goes through the hole like that. So what that does is when that shrinks, that'll tighten up. I'll show you when I boil it up, but when that shrinks, that will tighten up and it'll go and give yourself an extra curve like that. Now what I can do then for the back as well, same thing, get your 1.2mm, put your bait needle through it, loop on the stopper, slide her over it like that, get your hook, if you can see, put it down through the rubber, pinch the line there now, slide it back over. Now when that all boils up, that'll go tight around, which you can change the angle of your boilie to wherever you want, and that gives you an extra curve on your hook. All you do then on the other end of it, you can just make a loop ring here, put it through. Now what we're using is roughly, on this lake at the moment, the fish seem to be confident on taking anything slightly shorter. We're dropping fish, anything just approximately there around 10 inches, maybe 11 inches. Alright, simple figure 8 knot. Get your tightening tool, give it a pull, just snip that off then, and that's it. I'll show you the finished product there in a minute when I make myself a cup of tea. Right, back to you now with the finished product. Okay, as you see now I have my boilie on it. They're about 3/4 of an inch thereabouts between them, depends on some size of fish you're looking for. If you're looking for smaller fish like in Ireland or in England, like you make that just slightly shorter, smaller hook, but with bigger boats that would be perfect. As I said, anything between 10.5 11 inches thereabouts, whatever trace line you want to use, suffix we're using. Then on that, a safety leader, so the lead can burst off this without worrying about the lead sliding up and down on the trace. It has to come off, and with a 3-foot safety leader then. Tie it off your main line, bait board it out, If you're, as I said, if you're going casting, put PVA tape around this to stop it from popping off as you're casting, because sometimes you will lose it. So try that, it's working for us, hopefully now it will work for you. Cheers.